Hey guys, what's going on? It's Chris with the 7-Minute Fix, and we're back with episode 13 talking about promotional posters for events. Today I created a completely fake event with fake information and speakers and made a poster for it. And I'm going to tear it down to show you actually how I made it rather than making it and taking up the full 7 minutes without being able to explain why I did certain things. Or one thing I definitely want to point out, because we focused on it quite a bit on our website, is the font. Now this might look like it's a different fonts being used on the poster, but it's actually one font. This font is called Bender, which I got from a website called Lost Type. Bender has 4 different types that you can create. It has thin, solid, inline, and inline only. What you're seeing here with the Section 5 and Youth Rally is a combination of inline and inline only. Inline is the one that has actually a blank line in the middle, and then inline only is the one that I've made white. They're 2 different colors. I thought it would make it pop a little bit better. If I go down to where the text is for Youth Rally or Section 5, either one, and I take one away, the white away, you'll see it doesn't pop out very much. But when we add that white back in, it really kind of pops, and the boldness of the darker green actually looks a little bit darker than when it does right here. It doesn't really pop out as much. The other thing I do want to point out is all of the little squares right here, or the triangles in this case, and the extended triangles were all made from the same image as well as the background. They're all the same image. What we did is we took this background, which is an image I got. I have a background folder and just throw all kinds of cool backgrounds I found in there. This image is green, kind of grungy on the edges a little bit, some scratches or whatever. It's this lighter color. I brought it in as the background for its normal color. However, what I did then was I duplicated it, cut out one certain portion, and that portion was just this one triangle right here. I then took a brightness and contrast button right here, and I changed what some of this was, except I only made it apply to the one layer, and that's by clicking this little button right here. We're not going to use this obviously because I've already got it set up, but I created that and made it darker. Then all I did was duplicate it and flip it, spin it around, added it down here, position these in the way that I wanted them to go. Real quick, if you do make your guide show up, you can really help yourself in keeping everything aligned. What I did in this case was put it on the sides to make sure that everything pretty much lines up. Now you'll see a little bit coming out right here, but those are extensions of letters. You can barely tell that when I take it away that they're sticking out. Then when I was creating my images, I wanted this one right here to be in the middle of Michael, and so I made an image or a line right down the middle, as well as I wanted to make sure that they were all lined up at the top, and that underneath where the text was at was all lined up as well, depending on if this went any farther down. If you don't know, the way to create these is literally just to put the mouse up here, click, and drag down, and we can create another one there, as well as right here if that was something that you were worried about. The next thing I did was actually take that same triangle right here, I duplicated it, and then all I did was just shorten it, make it smaller until it was pretty much a perfect triangle, and then duplicated a whole bunch of copies all around, made it into a square, and then took the images from Facebook that I stole from Anthony and Michael and put them in here, added it onto the top of it where it looks like it's kind of like holding the photo in place. Adds a nice touch. If we took all of those little guys off, you probably wouldn't like what it looks like. It's going to be very basic, and I'll show you what that looks like really quickly here. It would just be a photo. While that might work, adding just this tiny little thing that's the same color shade as the triangle you have right here, almost the same shade as this right here, doing that adds complete different character to the image, makes it seem like it's just flowing better, and I think it just looks classy as well. So the next thing I did after that was I created the information underneath, and again, that's the same font. If we go to Bender, what I did was just used solid. If I would have used it for Section 5, it would have been readable, but like I said, I wouldn't have been able to do this little effect that I wanted to do here. So I created the 2 images underneath again by using my guides. They made sure that they matched up, really just made one, copied it, pasted it, made it centered, did it again. Over here, took that same one and tried to make it where it's about in thirds. So this right here should be in about the exact same position as this picture is right here. And I could have gone all the way down right here, and it would have looked okay because it's split into thirds on the image. And even though it's just kind of thrown on there, there's nothing extra added to the background. I didn't want to do too much. It's very readable, and it just looks like it flows. we read everything from left to right, top to bottom. So this makes sense. We've got these right here that really focus our image, or focus our eyes first into what these words say. Section 5 Youth Rally. Next, our eyes are going to go down lower to the left, and we're going to see special speaker Anthony Roberts. Okay, we know who the speaker is going to be. We go over next. Now we know the host pastor is going to be Michael Guerra, and then lastly is the rest of the information that we need. We have the date, August 1st. We have the location, and then we have the time of the service, and then the time of a lock-in that's going on afterwards at Bounce House Trampolines there in St. Louis that, again, I made up. Something else that you might probably notice about this is that these images are in black and white. Now, actually, when I brought Anthony's photo in, it was already in black and white, so it made it a little bit easier for me. But what I did was make Michael's black and white as well to make sure that it matched first Anthony's, but secondly, that it didn't bring any extra color that didn't make sense in this image. Really quickly, if I go over here and I find Michael's photo and I take off the black and white, you're going to see now the color comes in. That obviously looks way different. It brings in all new colors. There's no green in that image at all, and so it's adding new color, and now the main focus of this image is that picture. It pulls our eyes to it right away because it's the most colorful thing. But as soon as we add the black and white, there's no more issue with having to worry about the photo being the center of attention. I'll also have a link to download the Photoshop file so that you can take this and play with it yourself, really see how I created it and built everything together. So thanks for joining us. Let us know if you have any comments or questions below, and we'll be happy to take care of any of that for you. Remember to check out our website, 7minutefix.com, and see all the rest of the content that we have and we're pushing out. See you next time.